You will need a pen or a pencil and just an open mind. And everything that I show you today on Show and Tell is already in a list and available in the Deep Clean Challenge section of the membership site. You will need a pen or a pen. There we go. So now we know we're live. All right. So as I was saying, let's go back to our presentation. Here we go. Um, Journal, pen and pencil, and then everything that I show you today, it's already in a list in the challenge. It's the very first challenge lesson. It says Camille's favorite cleaners, and you can click to the list. And the list has clickable links in it, but there's also a black and white version in case you want to print it for whatever reason. And full disclosure, all of the links are Amazon affiliate links. But as I have said many times before, the only reason that I advertise and use these products is because I use them in my home and I know that they work, or I use them in clients' homes and I know that they work. And yes, Amazon does give me a small commission every time you buy something from a link, but that doesn't mean you pay more. It means that Amazon takes out of their profit and gives me a little something for talking about these items. So it's no additional cost for you. And I'm literally going to hold up just about every single item today and maybe one or two more. So with that, let's jump in. We're going to talk about stuff today that makes cleaning easier and items that will actually help you clean. So after a brief intro, we're going to do a week 2 review. What did we do this week? I can't believe we're over halfway done with this challenge. We have 1 week left, and that's it. Next week is our wrap party. We are done. So we're going to talk about why details matter, the energy of clean, because we've been talking a lot about energy this week, tools of the trade. What do you use? How does it help you? That's going to be our show and tell section. And then the science of short bursts, which we've continually touched on with every party that we've had. And then we'll do some journaling and we'll have time for Q&A. So if we haven't met before, welcome. I'm Camille Prunka with Organize to Elevate. I am a professional organizer and I'm also a high performance coach. And I help people make the most of their space, time, and mindset for a fully rewarding life. And today we are cleaning. We are talking about lots of things to do with cleaning. This is going to be one of my show and tells, the Mr. Clean Magic Eraser. It is fabulous. I have managed to use that to get snot off of painted walls. Don't ask me how I know this. Just trust that indeed this has happened. If it's a mess, I've pretty much cleaned it. So I'm happy to share my expertise with you today. Cleaning is a part of life. It is something that we have to do. So we might as well embrace it and try to have a little bit of fun with it. That's my saying, and get as much benefit out of it as we can. So Layla Gifty Akita is an author. She is from Ghana and she has some incredible storytelling. She's also started a nonprofit. I think it's called Smart Kids Volunteer, if I remember correctly. But one of her quotes is, when your environment is clean, you feel happy, motivated, and healthy. And I can tell you for a fact that that is true. So I have a client who I went and did her freezer. I think I've told this story once before, but I went to her house, I did her freezer, and she had some exploded batteries in there, some old food. We got rid of all of it. We got rid of all of it, right? And we cleaned it all out, and then we put all of the things that she wanted nice and neat, right? Because she has this fancy dog food that is labeled with her dog's names that she wanted in rows in there. So we did that, separated by dog, right? It was very lovely when it was done. And then next week, when I went back to her house to see her for our regular session, she said to me, "You don't know how many times during the week when I wanted to feel good, I would just go stand in front of the freezer, open it, look in, smile, and then I would shut the door and walk away." And it's true. It was like the one thing where she was like, "Ah, it's clean. I feel good," right? So, and it motivated her to keep going. The results that she sees every single week, she taps into that motivation that she's making her home happier and healthier. So let's remember that as we go through today's presentation. This is actually the week 2 review. I'm sorry, I forgot to change that. This is week 2. So on day 8, we did mirrors and glass surfaces. And the idea, the metaphor behind cleaning these surfaces was about seeing more clearly in life, having more clarity. Day 9, we did a refrigerator deep dive. And this is about the release and renew cycle, which we're going to talk about more today. People, I think, feel like decluttering is a one-time thing, and it's not. That is also part of the release and renew cycle. It is a natural occurrence in life. And when we lean into it, we can actually derive benefit from it as opposed to bumping up against it and then having a lot of stuck energy, frustration, resentment, right? And lower negative vibe feelings. We did cabinet interiors on day 10. This is all about how you store things. And do you go back and look at the things that you store, right? Are you participating in that release and renew cycle? How you store things also, it goes beyond the physical. It goes into the emotional, how you store emotional things in your body, right? Do you suppress it way down deep? Do you stuff it in the back of the cabinet only and never go back to look for it again? So that was another metaphorical cleaning that we did. Under the sink, right? What's just under the surface? Because we use the sink all the time, but how many, other than grabbing a cleaner, how much do we go under the sink to check out what's going on underneath there? Small appliances. Again, things we use every single day but we don't clean them, right? We might clean the part that we use, right? We clean the inside of the blender or the inside of the coffee pot, but are we cleaning the whole coffee making mechanism? Probably not, not very often. So it was a good day to see what needs our attention that we're kind of overlooking and skipping in our cleaning. Then day 13 was the pantry. We purged the pantry. We're talking here about what is expired and lingering in our abundance. The pantry is a wonderful place to assess our abundance. Think about it, right? How many times do you stand in front of whatever cabinet or space is your pantry and feel like your cupboards are bare? Probably not very often. Maybe you had the experience in COVID, and that's why you went out and bought a whole bunch of stuff that you might not even normally eat, but you wanted to feel that full pantry feeling like I have food and not have that stress of there's lean stores available. So, but what happens when we have things linger and become expired and then it's mixed in with our place of abundance? It's not feeling very abundant anymore. It's feeling very chaotic. So, this is about getting all the expired out so this way we can continue to see the rich abundance. And then the dishwasher and the sink. So again, we use the sink, we use the dishwasher, but do we clean the sink and the dishwasher as often as we use them to clean? Probably not. So I'm going to show you some solutions for cleaning these and clearing the residue, right? Getting rid of the residue. And we even talked about your dishwasher's filter. So a lot of the newer dishwashers have a really easy to access and clean filter. If you don't pre-rinse, that filter is catching all that stuff. And if you're not emptying that filter, all that stuff that you didn't pre-rinse is hanging out and growing mold and bacteria in your dishwasher. And then when your dishwasher goes and sprays the water all around, it's spraying around all that mold and bacteria. That is not what we want, right? So I can tell you my dishwasher filter is like $9.99 on Amazon. And every couple of months, I treat myself to a new filter because I pre-rinse. So there's very little that the filter catches to grow bacteria. But if you don't pre-rinse, you might want to think about replacing that filter once a month, right? And I'm going to talk about easy monthly cleaning today of your dishwasher. Everything we're going to talk about today is about kind of pushing the easy button on all of this. So take a moment and pop in the chat. What was your favorite cleaning task so far? Did you notice any big shifts, either physically or energetically, that happened in your home? Like maybe you're like, ooh, yeah. Like I could feel once the fridge was cleaned out, like, oh, it felt so good. And which task surprised you the most once you did it? Like maybe you're like, oh, the dishwasher and the filter. I didn't even know, you know? I'd love to see in the chat what you experienced as you were going through the prompts. Or if you didn't have time this week, maybe a past experience that you have had when you've cleaned one of these areas. So, I'll leave this up for a minute while I take a sip of coffee and we'll see what pops in the chat. And it doesn't have to be big and in depth. It could be just a couple of words. I can tell you my favorite cleaning task that feels so satisfying is is the sink. I just like to scrub the sink and cleaning out the fridge, both of those. And this week I did the microwave again, and that was very satisfying too. The reason we did the microwave, so it was off my schedule, but the reason I did it was because we had a little Halloween party with a friend. Peter's friend came over, and my husband was dressed as a dragon. I was dressed as a witch, and Peter was a wizard. And it was a whole theme, and we had a lot of fun. And then my husband had this great idea. He brings it to me Thursday night at like 9 o'clock at night. Hey, I bought these dragon eggs. Do you think we can make riddles and hide them and have the kids search for them? I'm like, sure, I can do that the night before. Got nothing else to do. So thank goodness for ChatGPT. We made riddles and we planned out where we were going to hide everything. And it went really, really well. The kids loved it, loved it. But one of the riddles was, I get hot and I'm used for food, and it was the microwave. I had to hide the egg in the microwave. So I wanted my microwave sparkling for when she found the egg. And the kids had fun. They did a great job. So this week, under the sink was a favorite task. Great. And last week, the entryway. Yes. I love when the entryway of the house just feels good. Whether it's coming in from the back door or coming in from the front door, either one, I love feeling good about the entryway of the house. The cabinet over the refrigerator. Ooh, yeah, that's a total bonus. Getting rid of kitchen items in there that you don't use often. That's great. Yeah, there's a lot of dust on top of the refrigerator. So it's funny for the next week's challenge, it was between the top of the refrigerator and another part of the refrigerator. And I opted for another part of the refrigerator, which you will see in this week's coming challenge. But the top of the refrigerator was almost in there. It was almost in there. There's a lot of dust. I think so. It didn't make it this time in the 22 days that we're doing, but next time we do this challenge, I think I'm going to put in the tops of your kitchen cabinets because they get greasy, and not just how to clean them, but how to protect them. So this way you can literally just clean them in seconds. I love doing things that take seconds to do because it feels like, whoo, look at me, rock star. Yeah, yeah. And now it's shining. Yay. We love that. Yes, I know. I don't see the top of my kitchen refrigerator either. I don't see the top of my kitchen cabinets, but all it takes is a one-time experience of knowing what happens up there. And then you're like, oh no, that will not happen in my house. When we bought this house, um, the kitchen, it looked like someone took a stick of butter and just rubbed it on every surface of this kitchen. It was so disgusting. So we were like, oh, no problem. We're just going to rip the whole thing out within 3 days of like signing on the dotted line. and will never have to live with us. And then we had a hiccup in the sale of the house, which is a whole story. But then we had to live with the stick of butter kitchen. And the cleaning that happened in the stick of butter kitchen was next level. I mean, they abused this kitchen so bad, the oven door. I was like, why am I dying while I'm trying to like warm up some food? And it's because the oven door didn't even close properly. So talk about a hot flash. All right. Um, You've been emptying the fridge, cleaning the dishwasher. Excellent. Ooh, and working on floorboards. Oh, that's a good one too. I did that the other day. I did baseboards and floorboards, and that just made it feel like I was living in a new house. Um, yes. And sometimes we have to give ourselves grace. That's a great point. Sometimes, like, especially when we're doing these challenges, if we miss a day, we have to give ourselves grace. There's no point in beating ourselves up over what did or did not get done, right? So it's grace is important. Um, the pantry, yes, we're not realizing how much was expired. So I can tell you, when I was in full medical treatment, right? I had no idea what was going on in my home. None. Didn't even care what was going on in my home. And I had my parents living here too, and they have dietary issues. So there was all kinds of different food all over the house, right? Who had this, who ate that. It was in my pantry, it was in the cabinet, just everywhere. So when I finally felt good, I was like, all right, I'm gonna get on the I don't even know. I can't even tell you the stuff that I pulled out of that pantry and the expiration dates. And it was only like a small amount of time. I mean, I was sick for a year, but stuff builds up. Stuff builds up. Um, I hope no one is eating while they're watching this. If you are, either fast forward 30 seconds or stop and finish what you're eating, or I don't just don't listen if you don't want to. But we were in a hoarder home this past week doing the refrigerator. And Sam, my assistant, looks at me and goes, are those dead flies in the freezer? And I was like, no, because she looked like she was turning green. And I was like, no, no, it's not. It's just spilled food. It's little specks of food. It's fine. We'll clean it. It was dead flies everywhere, right? Just all over the freezer. There were frozen flies in the freezer, which was a first. I have never seen that before. So if you don't have frozen flies in your freezer, you're doing pretty good. Give yourself some credit. But we cleaned it all up, and then the refrigerator just had like she went to the store, she bought chicken, like a family size thing of chicken. It was so sad. And she never opened it. It was raw, but it was from August and it had to go. So these things happen. Wow, you ladies are popping all kinds of stuff in the chat. Um, yes. Right. It is symbolic. All of this is symbolic. Exactly. So clearing all that out of your pantry is exactly that. It's making room for the water to flow, as the saying goes. Um, Yes, that's a great idea. So I do that too. Marking dry goods, mark the expiration with a Sharpie so you know when to toss them. I also use blue painter's tape. Like if we open a jar of tomato sauce, I put blue painter's tape on the sauce and I write open and the date. This way, when we go clean out the refrigerator, it's not the mystery sauce of when did you open this and no one can remember. So we do that too. Yeah, it's a great idea. Ladies, such good stuff. All right, let's keep going. And you can keep popping stuff in the chat. All right, why details matter. So, micro environments shape our focus. This is brain science. If you're sitting at a cluttered desk, it's hard to work, not just physically because you don't have the space, but mentally because your brain is trying to assess all of the things that are on that desk, even if you are commanding your brain to pay attention to only one thing, right? Like my smartphone is sitting here. My brain is trying to figure out what is going on with my smartphone while I am speaking, just because it is in the room with me, right? Removing your phone from certain environments can help you actually think more clearly because your brain is interpreting all of the things that are in a room when you are in the room. Your brain is constantly scanning for threats and it is assessing your clutter as potential threat. even though you know logically, like, okay, I know it's just my house and I'm fine, your brain is doing this background scan, like, an antivirus software on your computer. It's the same thing. And it takes power to generate that in your brain. And so you are shifting power towards that auto scan when you have clutter in the space. And when the clutter is gone, that power now is free for your brain to use for other things, right? And your brain is a power hog. It likes freed up usable power at its disposal at all times. So it's processing all of this unfinished business, right? Like put the toy away and wash the dishes in the sink and clean off the table and put the blender back in the cabinet. It's looking at all of this all the time. So when you clean all of those things up, you are reducing those little stressors that are appearing in on your brain's scan, right? Your brain wants to scan and get a green light. It doesn't want to pop a whole bunch of little red lights of things that have to get taken care of. Clean equals clarity. If you can get that today, that's the big thing. Because in your body, when you are in a clean environment, your body actually stops releasing cortisol, or it lessens the amount of cortisol that it is releasing. So if you're used to like constantly feeling this, I gotta do stuff. It's that comes down, that whole feeling comes down because the cortisol that drives that feeling is not as present. So once you clean, that's where you get that, this is so much better. And then when you get this is so much better, you get I feel so good because then your body is like, oh, time, bring on the dopamine. Time for the dopamine release. We did a great job. Yay, us. Here's reward hormones. And though that dopamine, it not only makes you feel good in the moment, but it makes you want to come back and do more, right? That's the whole thing here is having you come back and having you continue. So this way you keep building on these great feelings and you keep away from all that negative, icky feeling when things aren't clean. You're also training your brain on what it should be paying attention to. So, your brain is trainable. This is the great news, right? We have learned here, if you have spent more than 10 minutes with me, you know that organizing is a skill you can learn. And organizing is an executive function. So, the great thing is that brain science has proved we can improve our brain no matter what state we are in. So, what you are doing when you are cleaning and you are paying attention to these things that are not often paid attention to, you are strengthening your focus muscle. You are teaching your brain to pay attention to things that it didn't pay attention to in the past. And when you do that, now you're going to start to pay attention to more things that you haven't paid attention to in the past. Like maybe you haven't been great on recognizing body language. Well, you are now training your brain to pay attention to subtleties that run under the surface of things. So instead of just hearing what people are saying and looking at their face, maybe now you'll start to notice their body language as well. And you'll be able to start interpreting all of this information that used to go under the radar. So there's so much doing this work is so much more than just having a clean house. Doing this work is really like grounding yourself into the fact that you are aware. And awareness is the first step to accomplishing anything. You are training your brain that awareness is key. And it's awareness when awareness is necessary, right? It's tuning out, like putting the scan on pause, right? Because it's not necessary at this moment, and really putting all of your resources to paying attention to one specific thing. So, a lot that's going on in your brain. Yeah, it is amazing that the brain can be retrained. It really, really can. And I mean, I've noticed that. So I basically use my son as a science experiment. I love him. I say that with a lot of jest. But he has an incredible mind, and I love watching him develop it. And I can see that when he's at school and he is distracted, work is done in a certain way. And when he is home and the distractions are gone, work is done in a different way. And so now it has become that I train him to get rid of the distractions so this way he can complete work at school within the distractions in the same way that he completes work at home without the distractions. So it's amazing if you have a front row seat to watching someone's brain develop, even your own. It's amazing to see what you can accomplish when you are focused. So I've, had a front seat to my own cognitive development. I've always been pretty good with being able to speak well and articulate my ideas and be able to present things so this way people can learn. And I have to say that while I was going through the cancer treatment, oh boy, that was a struggle. It really had an effect on my cognitive processes. But I didn't let it be a permanent effect because I knew that my brain could recover. And so I've been working on it ever since. And I think if you go back and watch a video from when I was in treatment in 2024, and then you watch a video now, you'll be like, oh, yes, her style is still the same, but she's much better at finding words. She's much better at following through on a cohesive thought, right? And you can tell when I am being distracted by something. Like there was a class that I gave a few weeks ago, and a client was calling me the entire time incessantly as I was trying to give the class. I think it was the imposter syndrome class. And I felt like the class just didn't make any sense because the whole entire time I was like, oh, why is she calling me again and again and again? Like, what's going on? What could be so bad? And it was just that she forgot what time I was coming over. I should have left my phone in another room, right? It's one of those things where you learn that. So but it is amazing how when your brain is clear, what you can accomplish and the fluidity of the thoughts that you will have. All right, let's talk about the energy of clean. So when your home is clean, it definitely has a different feeling than when it is cluttered or messy or just plain dirty, right? Things get dirty. We use them. It's part of life. It's that whole renew and release cycle, right? You have to release the dirt and renew the item so it can be of service to you again. Every time my husband washes the car, he has these huge microfiber cloths that he uses, and they pick up all this dirt and grime, and it's wonderful. They have to be renewed. The dirt has to be released from them so they can be of use again. So the same thing goes with the energy of your home. It mirrors your inner energy. So what's going on within you is physically represented on the outside of you, right? And it's this symbiotic relationship because then your outside impacts your inside too. It's a whole cycle. When you have stagnant space in your home, you will feel tired. You'll be like, oh, I don't want to do anything. I just want to sit on the couch. And then when you leave the house, like this is a great thing to be aware of. If you leave your house and you feel better than when you're in your house, right? If you spend a day in your house and you're just like, I'm so tired, and it has nothing to do with the fact that like you ran a marathon the day before, that's not what I'm talking about. Just being in your space. You can't think clearly, you feel exhausted, but then you go to the library and you feel energized. The library is a very organized space. Library is an extremely organized space. If you feel like, oh yeah, I can get tons of work done at a library, or I can get tons of work done at a cafe, and it doesn't distract me, it's because the cafe doesn't have a whole bunch of clutter in it. The library doesn't have a whole bunch of clutter in it. It's all very streamlined and well organized. It has a lot of stuff, but it's not all over the place. Imagine if you walked into a library to do research, to study, and the books were just everywhere. That would be the most chaotic and stressful environment to have to work in. So It's the same thing in our home. You will feel like you have mental fog, like you can't complete a thought, you can't remember anything, and you will physically feel exhausted. Like you want to sit down or lie down or take a break or leave. That's another thing. Sometimes it's like, I just want to leave. I need to get out. That could be a good thing. Go spend time in nature, right? But our home should feel like it's a restorative little cocoon of space, not this place that's stealing all of our energy. The other thing is that when you are actually doing the cleaning, you can use it as a mindfulness practice. I say all the time that I wash my dishes in silence and I don't do anything except wash my dishes. I pay really close attention to the cleanliness of the pots and the pans and the accessories and the dishes. And it is a restorative practice at the end of my day. It's sort of metaphorical for cleaning everything up that happened in my day. So I'm literally moving energy while I'm doing that. I am making sure that everything is so well prepared for us to be able to eat nutritious food the next day on clean surfaces and with clean tools. That's really important to me. So think about what's really important to you, and it might be the linens in your closet, like your towels and your sheets, right? It might be really important to you to sleep on clean sheets very often. So, making it a mindfulness practice to change those out. The other day, we had a super busy day, but I looked at Peter and I said, no matter what happens, you're going upstairs, you're getting dressed, and we're changing the linens on your bed. And we did it together, and he helped me, and it was like a one, two, three thing. And it was great. And it just felt like the whole room was renewed. So every act of cleaning can carry intentions with it. You can be releasing things, getting rid of negativity, getting rid of gunky feelings, getting rid of distraction, getting rid of scattered attention. You can actually think these things while you're cleaning. Cleaning can be a renewal. It could be a re-energization of yourself, of your things, of your projects, right? Of your ability to think through and reason through things. It could also be the intention of gratitude. I'm so grateful for the abundance in my pantry and my refrigerator, for all of the lovely things I have, the luxurious feeling towels, the abundance of clothing, the fabulousness of my glassware and my dishes, right? Whatever the case may be, just being so grateful for having a beautiful home to live in. And then clarity, the fact that you know that everything is clean, that there is space, that there is ability for you to get your work done and done well, right? It's just carrying that feeling into your physical work, infusing it with all of these ideas. It takes on a whole new meaning. Honestly, I think this is why I enjoy cleaning in people's homes. And it's kind of the thing where people go to me like, ah, I could never do what you do. And it's like, but I don't look at it as, well, I'm just getting rid of things or I'm taking out garbage or I'm, wiping down a dirty freezer. I'm doing all these things. I'm bringing all of this into someone's home, and that has a totally different meaning and feeling to me than just getting rid of taking out the garbage, right? And if you can harness that and then carry it into the other things you do, it just makes life so much more deeper and more meaningful, and it just makes you sit and really recognize the awe of the power that we have and the beauty of the ripple effects of the things we do, and it just takes on a whole new meaning. So hopefully you're experiencing a bit of that in your cleaning tasks. All right, let's talk about tools of the trade. So these are my favorite cleaning tools. I use them all the time. I love them because they work. And I don't, ever since I discovered them, I've been like, how did I live without you? And my first favorite one is Barkeeper's Friend. This one's not even open. This one is my backup. That's how much I love this. Barkeeper's Friend is the most wonderful cleanser for sinks, cookware, and even shower heads, right? The stainless steel shower heads. This is fantastic. You can also use it on doorknobs. It is bleach free, silica free. It's not very harsh. And I burned a pot once and I burned it really bad, like really bad, scorched earth type type thing. And then I researched this and they were like, no, this will clean the scorch. I was like, nah, it's no way. So I took a scouring pad and I took some Barkeeper's Friend, and you would never know that I burned this pot. You would never know it. And the other thing is, I have lovely everyday stainless steel silverware. And my husband is a tea drinker, and he ends up staining the silverware because of the tea. This removes the stain. So my silverware looks brand spanking new after I clean it with Barkeeper's Friend. So again, you can find links to all of this in the membership site, in the Deep Clean Challenge. There's a document with all of this information. So you don't have to furiously be writing things down. It's what the product is, the link to find it, and what it's used for. But Barkeeper's Friend, totally one of my favorite. Oh, I did forgot to grab a Pumi stone. Okay, so Pumi is a pumice stone, so like you use on your feet, but it has a handle on it, and you can use it to clean toilet bowls. It will take hard water stains out of any kind of ceramic. So it's perfect for rings in the toilet or underneath if anything gets a little gunky. The reason that I found this little lovely is when I moved into my husband's home, someone must have poured paint down the toilet. And there was literally like a splotch of something. We're guessing it was paint because it was white on the side of the toilet, on the inside. And I was just like, we'd clean it and it would never come off. And then I thought, like, well, how do you remove weird stuff from the inside of your toilet? Like, these are the things I Google for fun. And it came up with this Pumi stone, and then it said that professional cleaning crews, this is what they use. And I thought, wow, it's pumice, it's all natural, it's not going to hurt the environment. Let me give this a shot. Our toilet bowl looked like it was brand new. Whatever, I think it was paint because it kind of flaked off. It came right off, but toilet bowl cleaner didn't cut it. The Pumi stone did it. And it removes any kind of mineral buildup too. It's really, really good. Okay, my next favorite one. Oh my gosh, I love these things. They are crevice cleaning brushes. And I can't tell you, like, that it was a set of three. I have used one, but they're very stiff, bristled brushes. And this one's a little bit easier. The white one's a little bit harder. But they get into all the grout cracks and everything. Anywhere there's like a little window track that you can't get in, any tiny space. Oh my goodness, these things are amazing. Oh, and everything that I'm showing you, with the exception of like one or two things, is like under $10. That's the other thing about this. I don't like to spend a lot of money on getting things clean, but I want it to be clean. That's my thing. So, crevice cleaning brushes. Oh my gosh, I use these in the bathroom, like around the toilet and the floor, like getting that grout line. These are amazing. They make me so happy. Okay, bamboo brushes. So these I have this cute little set of bamboo brushes. This is my one to clean the sink. It's fabulous. And it comes with little bottle brushes for like straws and things. And it's a whole little set that you get. So, and they're fabulous so I've got like a big bottle brush and another little small bottle brush. And then I've got this little gadgety guy, which is great for cleaning in and around things. But these are also good for spaces too outside the kitchen, right? That need a little help. And I love that this is eco-friendly because it's bamboo and it's effective. I like effective cleaning tools. I don't have time or money to waste on nonsense. That is my thing. So these are currently getting used in my kitchen. The other ones are on reserve for when these when these go, but these are fabulous bottle brushes and cleaning supplies. and they don't scratch, which is what I love about the bamboo cleaner. Leather cleaner. So I have leather couches. I have leather interior in my car. I have leather dining room chairs. I use my leather cleaner with a soft cloth and I get into all the crevices with leather. Leather needs to be not only cleaned, but it needs to be conditioned for it to stay in really good shape. So I highly, highly recommend, I think it's called Leather Honey and it's upstairs. I forgot to grab it. But Leather Honey, it's all natural, and the leather just feels supple and divine after it's done. All right, some more goodies. Fresh tabs. So this one is the washing machine one. It also has a dishwasher one. I know I talked this week about using vinegar and essential oils. That's great. But if you don't have time in your schedule, one tab of these a week, they are septic safe, and that's what the tab looks like. You pop it in the machine and set it on a cleaning cycle, and this cleans it if you don't have time to do anything more in depth. So even if it's a quick deep clean, this does the trick. And I like their dishwasher ones too. And they even put a little monthly calendar on the side of the box. So this way you can remember when you last did it. So super helpful. And they come six in a box. My cordless spin scrubbing brush. So I have used this on camera. I love this brush. It is amazing. It is rechargeable. It comes with all of these heads that pop on, and then you just push a button and it scrubs for you. It's fabulous. And it got multiple different speeds. This is how I clean my shower and my bathtub, especially after surgeries and not having as great use of my arms as I used to, not having the same amount of strength. This does the work for me. This thing is incredible. It comes not only with, this is like the meat and potatoes of it, but it comes with a telescopic wand and all of these different attachments. So there we go. So you can see it. It's got brushes for everything. And it fast charges in 4 hours, and you can use it for up to 90 minutes continuously. So it's not going to scrub for a minute and then not work. And I have had this thing for over a year and it has not failed me. So, knock on wood, it's been fabulous. So I love, love my spin brush. Scraper tools. I have talked about these. They are a hard plastic. You can also get metal scraper tools, but metal scraper tools can scratch things. This is wonderful because it has a small tip, and then if you flip it, it has a large. And anything from toothpaste that's stuck on the bathroom sink to stuck on food in a pot, I use these. My husband now actually even uses them. And they have this wonderful ergonomic shape where your thumb goes right in there and it's super easy to just scrape away, or your finger can go right here and scrape away. It's this is another thing. Don't take these away from me when I clean, because I don't using your fingernail to, no, that's hurtful. This is fabulous. I have a set for the business and a set for my home because I don't want to be in any place without them. And they come as a set of three. So you can hand them out to people to help you clean. What else do we have? Compressed air. Keyboards, remote controls, mice on the computer. Compressed air is the best for cleaning things like that. It removes dust from electronics and even more. So any kind of like little crevice that you have, even crevices in molding where you can't get the crevice brush in to clean, just blow it with some compressed air and it just blows everything out. What brand is it for the scraper tools? The scraper tool it's a non-brand. It's on Amazon. So the link to it, oh, the power scrubber does not, it's a non-brand too. It's one of these, um, I don't know. It doesn't have a brand. It's a, I don't know. It doesn't have a brand. It doesn't have a brand anywhere on the box. But the link to it is in the document that I made that's on the Deep Clean site in the Oasis. So you can get this exact one. Um, so yeah, compressed air. Compressed air is your friend for anything that is not scrubbable or not able to get in a nook or a cranny. Blow it out with compressed air. And then as I said, my other thing that I put here, magic erasers, snot off of walls. That's all I'm gonna say. I'm not gonna say what house it was in. Snot off of walls. That's all my show and tell for today. So hopefully this has like made you feel like cleaning doesn't have to be expensive. You can do it yourself. The tools that work are accessible to you and that nothing needs to be dirty in your home. I think that's like the beautiful lesson of this is your home, you don't have to take a ton of time, you don't have to spend a ton of money, and you don't have to live with dirt. That's it. That's it. When you were doing the baseboards, Q-tips really help. Yes. So Q-tips are another one of my favorite cleaning tools. I like them in all kinds of little places too. Like, and we're going to talk about using Q-tips in the third week of challenges. There's a few where Q-tips and rubbing alcohol might come in really handy. But everything here is like it's a shortcut. And that's another thing. Like you can scrub your wash on a stone if you want to, or you can just get a washing machine. This is the same version of that. You can scrub on a washboard, or you can get a machine to do it for you, or you can pick up one of these tools and just make the cleaning a lot easier. All right, let's talk about short bursts because we know that's what we work in all the time. Here's some more reasons why short bursts work. So when you do these cleaning challenges and they sound like big monumental tasks, what I want you to do is just do a small portion of them. If you clean out a cabinet, it is better than cleaning out no cabinets, and there's no rule that says you have to clean out every cabinet at the same time. And I think that that's what our brain is being trained on when we watch these cleaning shows and videos. And it's wonderful to be able to see the before and then this all encompassing gorgeous after. But they have a television crew to do that. And they have time to do that they are not showing you in this one specific video. They are splicing the pieces together to make it look like it's instantaneous. And in reality, we know that this is what happens, right, behind the scenes of a television show. But our brain is interpreting this as, well, what's wrong with you? Why can't you make it? Look at that. All the kitchen cabinets clean in the snap of a finger. It's not reality. It's just not. So when we watch these shows for inspiration or because they make us feel good, they're also making us feel bad that we can't replicate the results of what we're seeing in a 20-minute show when we spend 20 minutes. And that's because we don't have a television crew and an editing station to make the magic happen. So instead, we have to retrain our brain that we don't need to feel overwhelmed and we don't need to do it all at once. We need to do small little amounts that add up and that we start in one area. And by the time we finish, I hate to say this, it's a cycle that we begin all over again. We start the process over again. But if we keep the process manageable and we keep it fun and we employ things that help us, then the process isn't that big of a deal. So, working in short bursts allows us to let go of the overwhelm. We do not need to do it all. It also increases the dopamine that is released when we complete the task because it it's not overshadowed, right? Your body will release multiple hormones at the same time. So you can literally be stressed out that you are not getting enough done and happy with your results at the same time. But the cortisol will dampen the results of the dopamine, so you won't get the same amount as if you're like, I'm going to clean one cabinet today. and I'm not going to be stressed out about all the rest. And then I'm going to clean the cabinet. Woohoo! I'm done. It's a totally different feeling than I did my cabinet, but I have 400 more to go, right? And that's what we do to ourselves. I'm checking the chat. Um, wow, your aunt's bathroom from the 1960s has the original sage green toilet and matching green tiled walls. That's crazy. I love it. The bathroom was pristine, but she thinks rust stains are forming in the toilet. Yes, the Pumi will not hurt a colored toilet, not at all. It's not, it shouldn't make any kind of marks on anything. I've seen the Pumi used everywhere, anywhere, including shower tile, like scum and stuff that gets on the tile itself. You can use a Pumi to get off of the tiles, and it's pumice. So, and it's gentle, but it gives you that scrubbing power. You'd have to use it so hard that you would scratch the porcelain. That's the only way. And I haven't, let's say this. I have given a Pumi to my husband, who is known to be able to destroy anything, and he hasn't ruined the toilet with a Pumi. Enough said. So, so hopefully that helps with answering your question. Yes, enough said. So I think it will be fine. But you can test in an inconspicuous area, like under the toilet rim, before you use it all over the place. That's what I would do, is give it a little test. So let's talk about momentum outweighing motivation. So once you start on a project, your energy naturally builds. It's that whole premise of just start. And your momentum on just starting on one cabinet or just starting on this or that, whatever the case may be, one shelf, right? Clean one doorway. And then before you know it, you're doing every doorway in the house. It's because motivation's great, but motivation doesn't last forever. Think about the last diet or exercise program you tried to do. If you miss a day, you feel like we call it your motivation lessens. It's not. It's that you've dipped in momentum. And that if you can bring your momentum back up, you'll automatically feel like you're more motivated. Whereas your motivation hasn't changed. Your why behind the thing you haven't tapped more deeply into it. Maybe a little bit, maybe you're feeling it a little bit more because now you have momentum. But momentum is the thing that carries us through. There's a reason why Newton made these laws of physics, and that, a body in motion tends to stay in motion. It's a known natural law, and we need to tap into that when we are cleaning, when we are organizing, when we are doing any sort of project. Think about the last time you wrote a paper for school and it was looking at that blank page and you didn't know what to write down. And then once you started writing a few sentences, even if they were just gibberish, then all the paper just kind of flowed out from you after that. And then you could go back and refine it and make the introduction a little bit better, but like the conclusion was still great. Ever have that experience? That is the whole difference between momentum and motivation. Motivation is the deadline's coming up, right? But it's not doing anything to make the words jump out on the paper. But momentum makes the words jump onto the paper. And then energy calibration. So when you're working in short spurts, your energy can stay at a pretty consistent level. You are not having these huge hills of, I feel great, I've got so much energy, I'm gonna get so much done, and now I'm gonna spend 3 days in bed because I used all my energy and I can't even move. But oh, I feel so much better now, so I'm gonna work, 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 and now I'm not gonna be able to walk for 3 days. No, that's not what we want to do. We want to keep ourselves very even keeled with our energy. We want little peaks and little valleys, right? It's okay to feel like, oh, I feel so good today. I'm going to get a little extra done. And then feel like, oh, I'm not feeling so great today. I'm going to do a little bit less. But it's not this, I'm going to do everything. I'm going to do nothing. I'm going to do everything. I'm going to do nothing. That's not what we want. When we work in those huge peaks and valleys is when we start to really feel burnout, because we try to maintain the peak and ignore the valley. And that's when you get into dangerous areas. The other thing is when your energy is pretty consistent, your vibe is pretty consistent. Your feelings are consistent. And your feelings are this filter that we interpret through. And if our feelings are in a good space, our interpretation of things tends to stay pretty positive. But if our feelings are in this low energy, frustrated, annoyed, and tired place, then anything that happens, the negativity of it tends to be magnified. And that is not what we want. So, short bursts of cleaning or project doing, it helps us to just stay even keeled overall and appreciate the good things that are coming from the gains that we're making, as opposed to highlighting that the gains aren't happening fast enough or as strong enough as we want them to, and then getting into this place of settling into negativity. We don't want negativity. No, negativity. Yuck. Okay. We're getting rid of the negativity with the dirt and grime. So let's take a few minutes and let's journal. Here are today's prompts. Where in my life am I overlooking details that deserve care? Where does energy feel stuck in my home? Maybe there's a part we haven't cleaned yet. It's good to get that down. What am I ready to release as I continue cleaning deeper this week? What area of my home feels most transformed so far? And where am I ready to go deeper next week? So it doesn't matter if it's in the challenge next week or not, but maybe there's a place in your home that needs a little TLC. And it's now you're noticing it more than ever because for 2 weeks you've been looking in places that you don't normally zero in on and pay attention to. So it's good to capture that and put it on a list. Even if you don't do it next week, it's good to have it in your awareness and be able to then add it to your schedule for a time that is convenient for you. So I'm going to set us a 10-minute timer to explore these journal prompts in our journals, and then we'll come on back. We'll talk about them and we will wrap up and talk about what is coming up next in our challenge. So I will see you all in 10 minutes. journaling if you need a second and get that extra couple of thoughts down on the paper, please do. I welcome you to put into the chat anything that you want to share about the journaling that you put down. It is interesting. So question 3 for me, what am I ready to release as I continue cleaning deeper this week? I think one of the things that we're sort of trained to feel as we go through and watch what society is doing is we're trained to feel guilty about not doing enough and not doing it fast enough, right? Not only are we not doing enough, but we're not doing it fast enough. And then feeling shameful about the guilt that we're not doing enough and we're not doing it fast enough. And those are two things that I don't wish to experience anymore. Like maybe some people's homes are picture perfect. Maybe some people's lives are picture perfect, right? But my home supports me and it supports the lifestyle we want to have and the creativity we want to have. And so if my son builds a marble run, and he wants to leave it up for a week, I'm okay with that. Am I okay with him leaving it up for 6 months? No. But a week, yes. So, and if someone pops over and sees this contraption in the middle of something, then I'm okay with that. And I'm okay with that as much as I'm okay with the fact that this week we've got over 20 boxes of china in my living room. So we have a formal living room when you first walk into the house that we do not use. And then we have our family room, which is right next to the kitchen that we use all the time. So this non-used area is where the 20 moving boxes are of china right now. And to keep with the Halloween theme, I just covered them in creepy cloth and put up caution tape. And that way no one would go near it and it would look like it was a little Halloween set. But the truth is, it's just my life happening. And there's more china on the way, and there's more antique linens on the way, and there's more papers to be shred on the way because business has been hopping. And you can't be home doing things and in someone else's home doing things at the same time. And so guilt and shame around, well, now there's boxes of china in my house. There's boxes of china in my house. Business is good, right? I shouldn't have to feel guilt and shame about it. And the fact that there's more on the way, business is good. And as business continues to be good, will other solutions present themselves? You bet. There might be workspace, there might be storage space, there might be lots of different solutions. But it's the kind of thing where if I'm wallowing in the guilt and the shame about it, I'm not going to be forward thinking about the good that can come out of this. So I am ready to release that this week. So if there's anything you want to share about what you were working on this week, yes, please put it in the chat. Okay, cool. Releasing people and situations that aren't supportive to my peace of mind. Oh my gosh, I love that. I love it. I love it. I love it. Um, it was an area that felt uncomfortable and you don't have to force yourself anymore. That's fantastic. Yes, sometimes it's really hard. Like we want relationships with people to work out, right? My mom has this wonderful saying. We never go into a relationship asking ourselves, how is this going to end? Right? I didn't marry Alex and stand up there in front of our family and friends and go, how is this going to end? Nobody does. So we enter into these relationships with the most positive of intentions, and we enter into jobs and other situations with the most positive of intentions. And then it doesn't quite work out the way we wanted it to. And sometimes we do have to clean ourselves and clear ourselves from that. So this way we can have a peace of mind that we deserve. So, yes, it is a symbolic deep clean. Kitchens can always use our attention. That is for sure. Yes, I agree. I agree. Um, having the foyer and the entryway feel open. That is fantastic. taking piles of donations out of the house. Yay! The spare bedroom and the dining room are stuck and they have items that need to be released. Oh, I love this. They look organized, but they're filled with stuff we don't use. And that is true. That is very true. Um, yeah, things I've gone into people's homes where it looks beautiful. And then they open up things and they're like, I just don't use any of this. And so we create more space. Absolutely. Absolutely. And it's good to take stock of that once in a while. And it's okay to also pull things out and be like, I want to use this now. I want to enjoy it. The thing I was enjoying, I'm kind of tired of. I want to enjoy this. And then yeah, lean into it. Feel good about it, right? I think I'm gonna change our China set like for the holidays, and we're gonna lean into some different everyday wear around holiday time. So, because it keeps life interesting, right? We are allowed to use the things we love, and we are allowed to love the things we use. It's just a basic principle of how the world works. Cleaning is a physical way to act out the release and renew cycle of life. It reminds us that life is lived in seasons. So, another saying my mom introduced to me as I became older was reason, season, lifetime, right? Things come into your life for a reason or a season, and some things stick around for a lifetime. So, cleaning and clearing is a very symbolic act of reason, season, lifetime, right? We use the things that come into our life for a reason. And when the reason is over, that thing doesn't need to be there anymore. We use things for a season of time, and then that thing doesn't need to be around anymore. And then we have things that are with us for a lifetime. And that is beautiful. But not everything needs to be with us for the lifetime journey. And that's okay. It is okay to release things and pass them along to where they can be of service to others. And cleaning lets us do that. So, ladies and everyone watching on YouTube, this is the suite of services that we offer at Organize to Elevate. We have fun, transformative sessions online, and we do great work in your home if you are in the Northern Virginia area. So, lots and lots and lots that we can do, everything from paper management to memorabilia storage to just basic decluttering and then hoarder help specialization. And we can do all of these services virtually and in person. And we have all of our classes and challenges and fun. So if you are watching YouTube, especially, and you don't know where to find all the different references that I've made, or all the different resources that I have made reference to in this session, this is where you want to go to. Follow the QR code and go to members.organizetoelevate.com. There you will find our decluttering guide. You will also find all of the posts from the Deep Clean Challenge and all of the reference materials, as well as the link of how to join us live next week for the challenge wrap party. So all of that information is at members.organizetoelevate.com. This is our weekly calendar of sessions that are offered in our Savvy Squad, part of which, like our challenge sessions, are offered in the Oasis. And some of these sessions are offered a la carte in our meetup group on meetup.com. But Savvy Squad is the way to get them all. And that is also available at members.organizetoelevate.com. We do everything from decluttering together to co-working together to learning together and planning our week together. And the community magnifies the results. That is all I can say. So if you're making good results on your own, being in community, it will amplify all of those results. It's exponential. All right, so we do classes as part of Savvy Squad. On Monday, we are going to be talking about beautiful guest accommodations, how to create those in your home. Then the following week, the second week of November, we're going to talk about savvy schedules, how to up level your planning with a bunch of different techniques that you get to try on and see what works for you. Week 3 is our Savvy Mindset Week. It is that time to start thinking about your 2026 resolutions and planning to make them effective and long lasting. There's nothing more frustrating and demoralizing than setting a goal and within 2 weeks dropping it and never revisiting it again. We don't want that to happen this year, so we're going to set ourselves up for success. And then week 4, Savvy Abundance, the language of overflowing riches. So the language you use has a very real and deep impact on the abundance that you have in your life. So we're going to talk about language swaps, words that we can say instead and thoughts that we can personalize for ourselves. So this way, talking about money and wealth and the riches of life feels good, right? It doesn't feel like we're dwelling in the negative, or it doesn't feel like we're being boastful and conceited, right? Because we don't want to feel any of those things. We just want to feel good about what we have and the way we enjoy it. So, and our language gets to reflect that. The Organized to Elevate book club. So we had a book club snafu a week ago where we had a great conversation. It was fabulous, but we didn't actually talk about the book. So what we're going to talk about is Plan a Happy Life, the second half of the book. And if you didn't read it, it's still okay. You can come on November 5th at 7:45 and talk about the book with us, because we're just talking about the concepts in the book. And you will definitely be able to form an opinion and understand the concepts even without reading the entire book. But we will be finishing our discussion of Plan a Happy Life by Stephanie Fleming, which was a great book, and I highly recommended it. It was well received by everyone who read it. And then this month's selection, we will be meeting on Wednesday, November 12th, because of the Veterans Day holiday. We'll be talking about The Power is Within You by Louise Hay, but only the first half of the book. So we'll be doing the introduction, section 1 and section 2, and this is our mindset month of book club. And the last month we'll have book club because we will be on break for December, and then we will return with an abundance book in January. So, Organized to Elevate the book club meets November 12th, talking about The Power is Within You by Louise Hay. You know you found me on YouTube if you're watching this on YouTube, but if you're wondering where else Organized to Elevate is, we are on Facebook, Instagram, and LinkedIn at Organized to Elevate, and on X at Organize Elevate, just because of those pesky character restrictions. And then that's my phone number. I'm on Voxer, my email address, and the Organized to Elevate website link, as well as the QR code to get to the membership site. These are all of the ways that we can keep in touch when I'm not live on YouTube or live in person through Meetup and the membership site. So I thank you so much for coming today. This has been amazing. If you've been watching live on YouTube, thanks for joining us. Drop a comment. Be sure to favorite the channel and subscribe so this way you find out when we're going live again and when new videos are posted. And hopefully you will come back and join us again soon. So I'm going to stop our live stream and then